we are fortunate to have an employee here that is or has qualified to be an electric specialist. One of only 15 in the whole of the UK, Adam, and I'm not sure if he's here, but again, a round of applause for that person, please, if that's all right. So yeah, it's all good stuff. So the team, we've all got lanyards on, as you can see. I've got mine. So if you've got any questions during the evening, there will be guys dotted around that you can ask relevant questions to. We've also got 2 BMW experts, James to my right, Matt to my left. They've been working tirelessly over the last few weeks, going all around the country, visiting dealerships, presenting the cars, etc. They've got a wealth of experience in the brand and also obviously on the products that we've got behind us, which is great. So tonight's going to start off, you're going to listen to my dulcet tones for 10 minutes or so. I'm going to just give you a bit of a rundown on a few bits. Then we will go straight into the unveil of the car. And then straight after that, the guys to my left and my right will actually just give you a bit of a walk-round presentation, tell you a little bit more about the BMW iX3. And then after that, you'll be free to actually just go around, enjoy, have a look around the car, sit in the car. And then at 7:30, we will have a Q&A for any questions that you might have. But before we do that, I just want to take a little bit of a step. Neue Klasse started a long time ago, 65 years ago. 1960 was a turning point for BMW as a brand. We had many changes in the car industry with new technology that weren't really in a good place. So then all of a sudden, Mr. Hofmeister himself designed the Neue Klasse as a car and set things forward for things to come for the next decade with new technology, different engineering styles, and which resulted in further sales over the course of 10 years. Now, what that meant for the brand was in that 10-year period, sales increased 3 times over, and then from a revenue perspective, it was 7-fold. So it set itself up really, really well for the things to come for the future of the brand. And then we sit here today, we look at what we've got coming with the Neue Klasse, and certainly with all this new technology, it's certainly going to pave the way for many, many products to come over the next years with BMW as a brand. So going forward from that, when we look at what BMW have done over the years, we look at, to my right, the BMW i3, which, funny enough, was launched the year I started here, 2013. And at the time, people thought, well, not sure, range anxiety, very, very different, coach doors, all that sort of thing. So there was a little bit of uncertainty in the market, but 2 upgrades later, and probably 9 years on, 250,000 cars sold over that period. It's become a very desirable car, and to be honest, it's one of the best used electric cars on the market for reliability. And I must admit, I love them myself. They're great little cars. So then we go from the electric i3 to the car to my left, which was the first generation of the iX3, which was launched in 2021. It shared the same platform from the current X3 at the time, which was the Go1 version. And to be fair, all the customers that I've sold them to have been really, really pleased and happy with reliability. So it's been a really good car. And also, the models available at the time did have very, very good standard equipment levels. So then let's move on to what shortly we will be unveiling, the new Neue Klasse iX3. So as we know, the market is so competitive. We know that for a fact. But I do believe that this particular car is going to be an absolute winner. With all the inquiries that we've had over the course of time, the new technologies available, which you'll get to find out about this evening, it's certainly, in my opinion, going to be a winner. That's for sure. And it will pave the way for future models with other vehicles that BMW will launch. So I'm going to stand out the way now because it's important to... I want you to experience this amazing car. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new BMW iX3. I'm going to hand you over to the experts next to me now, just to give you a brief, and I'll keep quiet.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you all for coming, because we've all heard from Mike already how important this car is. You're not just witnessing an iX3, you are witnessing a brand new era for BMW. As we can see, just from looking at the previous model, night and day in terms of design and technology, which I will run through in a second. But I'm just going to take up a little bit of your time. I promise not to talk too much. And then I will hand over to my colleague, Matt, who will just run through some of the interior. But I just want to start around the front of the car. So we've mentioned the history behind Neue Klasse, and we've got it just here. So we have these shark nose design coming from a car, the 2002, a car that's extremely sought after even today. You'll notice that we've actually taken away a lot of the chrome and replaced it with these lights we call the iconic glow, something you can actually get on standard on a Pro model, which is the Brooklyn grey one to my left, and then we have this one that we're looking at now is an M Sport in space silver. As we look a little bit further up, you can see the Randall itself, when you come up closer, has actually been redesigned again. So again, carrying on with that theme of removing the chrome to get a lot of a clean design, something that follows along the side as well. As we come along the side, whenever you speak to any of our designers, they are extremely proud of all the design lines, really being purposeful, especially these prominent wheel arches, giving the car presence and stance on the road, and those clean life surfaces follow all along to the back of the car. So an important factor for any electric car, you could have the best electric battery technology in the world. If it doesn't cut through the air very well, you're not going to get a very good range. So what we've done, with the help of a rear diffuser and a new rear spoiler, this car actually produces a coefficient drag of 0.24. Sounds like just a number to a lot of us. But to put that into a little bit of context, this cuts through the air exactly the same as our BMW i4. So you have a mid-size saloon cutting through the air exactly the same as a mid-size SUV. As we move to the back of the car, like I said, I've touched on that rear spoiler and the rear diffuser a little bit. We also have a completely new rear light design, again, really emphasizing the width of the car. And like I say, I appreciate you can't see that at the moment, so do come and have a look in just a second. Otherwise, for the rest of it, what I'd like to do now is hand over to someone that's actually been driving this car quite a lot. Between myself and Matt, we've covered around 3,000 miles in this car now, if not a little bit more. Really getting used to those extreme figures like the 500-mile range. And it's important to note that in the winter, the WLTP is 406. So again, a realistic range, and we are getting that every time without even trying. We are driving these cars exactly the same as you all would. So really, really important fact. So what I'll do now, hand over to my colleague Matt, who's going to tell you about my favorite feature, which is a little bit about that interior.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the interior on this car is as special as the outside. I think maybe slightly more special. So you walk up to the car, We have brand new flush door handles now. To open them, you literally just tap on them, they pop out, and all you need to do is just pinch between your finger and thumb, and the door opens up in your hand. Super, super easy. In the wintertime, obviously pop-out door handles are a bit of a contentious subject. Some people think they can get stuck in their cars. Luckily with these, they have an ice-breaking function, so if they feel that there's any resistance when they try to open, they will just punch through and essentially break the ice in order to allow you to get into your car. As you jump in, you'll notice that in true BMW fashion, everything is pointed and focused at the driver as it should be. So we have a brand new central display, which we call the free cut design display. So this is angled at a slightly jaunty angle to our right towards the driver. So everything that you need quick access to as a driver is literally within a fingertips distance, even from turning off the lane keep assist or the speed limit warning, everything is right there as you need it. And this display is super crisp, super clear, and the response time is next to none. All the staff that we've trained today, I think you guys can agree that this thing is just so responsive, so easy to use. We also have one of the key features on this car, which we call the panoramic vision. So this is a pillar-to-pillar display, which displays across the entire bottom of the windscreen all the information that you could possibly want. So from your speed and everything in front of the driver, then we can choose to show your maps, your satellite navigation, altitude, battery temperature, any sort of information that you want can play. And it is just under your line of sight, so it is super, super easy to see as you're driving. We also have a brand new steering wheel design. So we have one in the M Sport to my left and a different design in the M Sport Pro over here. Two different designs, a vertical spoke design in this one and a slightly more sort of upside down V spoke in the other one. Brand new haptic buttons as well. So please come and try those a little bit later on. Some cool functions on there. And last of all, obviously interior is switched on yet. Because of this new battery technology that we have in this car, we have so much more interior space. A longer wheelbase, which gives us an inch further legroom in the back. So for the tall of us, like James, who's, what, around 5'8" maybe, 5'9", he's 5'6". He has ample legroom in the back. So do I, and so do our taller customers as well. So lots of headroom, lots of legroom. This place is an amazing car to be. And let me just finish off with some cool top-line facts for those of us who are into our facts. 469 brake horsepower from these cars, 0 to 60 miles an hour, 4.9 seconds, 500-mile range, as James said earlier. And also, we now have charging capabilities of 400 kilowatts, which means we can go from 10 to 80% in just 21 minutes. Or if you don't even have that, if you want to slash that time in half, we can add 231 miles of range in just 10 minutes in this car, which I think is pretty damn impressive. So, thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Please come and have a closer look at the cars, and we'll go for a Q&A at 7:30. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so we're now at the chair. So what sort of questions would we like to ask the panel as such? Okay, Simon, we'll give you a microphone, Simon, I think. Put his hand up, if you can just... Thank you.
Hi, good evening. So,
Hi.
Simon Walker. I've ordered that exact same car behind you in that colour, so I'm absolutely delighted to see it. One of the things that I did see recently was that China's banned the flush handles, and I'm sure you're going to... And it just made us think, how does that work with iX3?
I'm very glad you asked that question because that was going to be my first in the FAQ section. A lot of people ask about the door handles. Naturally, it's obviously, like I said, a contentious subject. Luckily, there is a lot of fail-safes built into this car. So by default, so let's say the car has no power, the 12-volt battery is dead, the HV battery is dead, the door handles pop out, so they require power to be in. So by default, they are out of the car. In an emergency, so let's say the car's had an impact, the emergency services need to come in and rescue you from the car, they can essentially just yank the handle out of your worries, essentially. So that's from the outside. Door handles pop out with no power. You can yank them out in an emergency. If you're not in an emergency, so let's say you still need to get in the car if your battery's dead, there's a little keyhole in the driver's side door handle, just underneath the door handle. You can stick your bladed key in there, and you can open the door from there as well. From the inside, you notice there's the little sort of electric handles to get out. If you pull those further down, that's your manual release to get out the car as well. So if the car loses power whilst you're inside, you literally just pull that all the way down. That doesn't break anything at all. You can do that as many times as you like, and that gets you out manually. So like I said, yeah, lots of fail-safes, so we should be absolutely fine.
We got any questions around technology?
That come the summer or even the spring, you will hit 500 miles in these cars come that time of year, especially if you do get the spec that allows you to go to that full 500 miles.
May I quickly add in as well, James? I did a full charge yesterday, and my range, so I put it in efficient max mode, which some of you may have seen earlier, and it was showing me a range of just shy of 600 miles, so 590 miles it was showing if I drove very carefully. So absolutely, completely echoing James's thoughts there.
Great stuff, great stuff. Any other questions? I'm sure you've got loads, come on. Sure you've got loads. Okay.
What's the battery architecture? Is it 800 or 400 on these?
800.
800 volt architecture, yes.
Okay.
But
and so you've obviously got to be careful on what rapid charge points you use with these, because, or is it compatible with 400 charge?
It's compatible with 400 and 800 as well.
Not like another German manufacturer we won't mention.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We can charge anywhere we like DC.
Another note on that charging infrastructure, as we know, if you go somewhere like Europe, ampage is regulated very differently over there. Even the GPS will pick up, you're in a country where ampage is different, voltage can be different, so the car will pick that up and regulate that as well. So we can plug it into whatever we like, car will sort it out.
Any more for any more? Simon, carry on.
Thank you. I noticed, well, on the i4 that we currently drive, we both have a key fob, and as we walk up to the car, depending on who gets there first, it sets the car up for that. I noticed, I think I saw online, it comes with one key fob, is that right? And then cards, how does that system work?
Yeah, that's correct. So with this car, you get one physical key, and that is your sort of your backup key and the key that contains the blade for the door handles. And then you will have a setup card, and through that setup card, you can pop your phone in the wireless charger, and in your phone will become a key. You can have up to 28 digital keys on this vehicle, and similar to, I'd imagine you've both got very different profiles, different seating positions, all the rest of it. So whoever opens the driver's door with their digital key, that's the one's profile who will load up.
think one thing to also mention on that, we're seeing cars come through with one main key, one digital key, and I think, you know, as technology moves on, you know, nothing to be afraid of getting the digital key card. The setup takes literally a couple of minutes and it's done. So, you know, it's a really good thing to use, definitely. Any more questions? No? Okay. Well, I think there's still time to go and look around the cars. There's plenty of time. So if you have got any questions, you know, there's plenty of us here to answer them for you. But yeah, it's been really great to see so many good faces here tonight, and you'll enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.